Game 4 is in the books, but today Patrick and I are mostly going to be focusing on the 2024 NBA Players Draft. We're just going to be drafting a team of 5 and seeing who has a better team. A little fun exercise since, I feel like, we got to see what happens in Game 5 before we really take this Timberwolves-Mavs series, a little bit more serious. So let's get into foul trouble.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be crazy when the Wolves force a Game 7.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of weird because the Mavs were in a position to win this game without Derek Lively, but it didn't really feel like missing Lively affected the game all that much because the first 3 games were all so close. But
Gafford was unbelievable in, I think, this game.
Let's see what happens in Game 5. Is Lively coming back? I don't know. I don't really want to entertain the series too much while it's, a 3-0, 3-1 situation.
Yeah,
Unless there's anything you want to touch on that you saw differently. I thought Ant did a better job on Luka than anyone else in this series so far.
Yeah, and I think that was like a switch up strategically that we had been pontificating about since Game 1 of just like, we saw that Jaden McDaniels just didn't have the strength to maintain the Luka matchup, and it just made sense to kind of like sell the Luka matchup, put Jaden McDaniels on Kyrie, who he did really, really great in this game. But I think the story of this game, especially in our Foul Trouble group chat, was Karl Anthony Towns. We were trading him at halftime, and then he ended up being like the savior of this game. Max, where are you sitting on Karl Anthony Towns, his future with the Mavericks, potentially his future with the Timberwolves?
I don't think he's going to have much of a future with the Mavericks in about 2 days, but we'll see. After tonight, I don't know. Tonight might be his last rodeo, but we'll see.
Oh, dude, I have such emotional whiplash from this man. Like, he just cannot, I just don't know how to feel about him. But, I mean, honestly, my bigger takeaway was like, damn, Kyle Anderson's looking actually pretty good out there. And he's like directing traffic. He's like calling plays. Like
Kyle Anderson probably is their best Luka stopper, for lack of a better term.
I don't know. He's a funky player. I feel like he loves to pull up for that like rust under the free throw line mid range shot, and it just doesn't go in that much. But I'm like,
sometimes it does though.
But I'm like, but you treat it like a signature shot, man. Like, and it doesn't. It's like it is your signature because I always see you trying to get over there, but I feel like you should hit that at a higher rate. It's kind of I don't know.
And that's the tough thing about playing Kyle Anderson is like once you get to the offensive side of the ball, they've been able to funnel shots towards him. But what I like about having Kyle Anderson out there for the Timberwolves is when Kyle Anderson and Jaden McDaniels are out there with Ant, that means Ant doesn't have to expend the energy of guarding one of those super mega stars. And I think that's like huge because especially in the first 2 games of the series, Ant was just gassed.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Ant played a lot more aggressive, a lot better. I mean, let's see. When Lively comes back, it might change the equation again just because it just totally takes all those paint shots away. Now, obviously, T-Wolves won with like a barrage of like cat threes and Ant hit some big jumpers, but I still think just having that extra rim protection because, man, Powell sucks.
Powell is
and Kleber is a little like shell-shocked out there.
Yeah. I mean, he's coming back from a shoulder injury. It's like, and kind of a huge part of his value is being a shooter.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like if there's a reason for him not playing bad, it doesn't really matter if there's a reason or not because this is the NBA playoffs. You'd only have so many attempts. Yeah. But let's get to our 2024, the NBA playoffs draft.
Yes, so we are... What we're going to be doing...
What are we doing? Are we drafting the best team we can draft, or are we drafting the best 5 players in any crude fit that we can draft?
So I think we need to keep like the teams in perspective. Like I think we should try to... It can be a little positionless, but it has to be. They have to be able to survive.
So we have to draft a team.
Court.
So we can't run a lineup of like Embiid, Jokic, Davis, Bam Adebayo, and Gobert. Like that can't be our team.
You're gonna have to be able to defend that team and how they would survive
on offense and defense.
And defense.
So we are drafting the most cohesive 5-man unit we can draft, not necessarily the best 5 players we can draft.
Yes. And I would say the most important thing, the only criteria we should be looking at in terms of quality of player is how they performed in these playoffs.
Yeah. So you're getting the playoff version of these players.
Yes.
So if somebody had a horrible 3-point shooting playoffs, that's the version of them you're getting.
That's the 3-point shooter they are.
Yeah.
There's no other information that we are allowed to take in other than those playoff stats.
Okay, so I guess, Patrick, how do we decide the first overall pick?
Max, can you, I don't know, give us maybe think of a number or find a stat? Real.
I really want the first overall pick. I don't know who you're going to take, but I thought of a really fun team construction last night and this morning that I've been like kind of building on in my head of just like, wow, this team secretly I might have built the best team of all time in my head.
Honestly, I am hoping to not get the first overall pick.
Do you want to let me have it then?
Yeah, you can take it.
We've decided. Okay. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, with the first overall pick, I'm going to take Nikola Jokic.
Okay. Why did you settle on Nikola Jokic?
I settled on Jokic because I know that he was a little bit down by his own standards in this playoffs. He shot a little bit worse, but the passing is still there. Mm-hmm. It's not his fault. Jamal Murray can't dribble the ball up past half court without getting stripped.
Yeah, I mean, other than Anthony Davis, pretty much the best rebounder on the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting passing. I'm not getting quite as good of shooting out of Jokic as I normally would. I'm not getting crazy spacing from Jokic anymore. I'm still getting the mid-range, though. I'm still getting a dominant hub. I'm still getting the ultimate mismatch. I'm still getting a guy that is unguardable 1v1. We saw that. The only way the Timberwolves could guard him was by forcing him to pass. So I still think he's the best player in the world. I'm going to take Nikola Jokic.
I got to say, I'm a little surprised. I was thinking maybe you would go with Joel Embiid. We had the conversation last episode about how he is still the
leading scorer of the
playoffs on a points per game basis. But I mean, obviously a solid pick. The reigning MVP, 3-timer, still the defending champion.
Yeah. I mean, I think Embiid will probably get drafted in this. We'll see. But if not, I think it is important to know you're getting the injured version of Embiid.
That is true.
So he was still pretty awesome in that injured state, but we did see him shy away from the moment at the end of some of these games, get a little bit winded.
Yeah, really rough fourth quarter stats.
Yeah, we're not getting December Embiid. We're getting this injured Embiid. So who are you taking with your first pick?
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you bring up it's injured Embiid, and I'm going to take an injured player as well. So semi-injured, and I'm going with Luka Doncic. I just think Luka has been absolutely incredible
Good pick.
in these playoffs. Finally, he's on my team the way he should have been all along throughout his career. He's just been an insane closer throughout these playoffs, and I think, in my opinion, he's been the best player of these playoffs. So I'm pretty comfortable with the Luka Doncic pick.
Yeah, you don't really need to justify Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Okay, Patrick, are you ready for this two-man pairing that I was just salivating over?
What is the big two?
So when I think about Nikola Jokic, I think about the lob pass to Aaron Gordon, the unguardable 1v1, the wow. Man, this chemistry with Aaron Gordon is so good. But what makes Aaron Gordon so good? Some defense, switchability.
Yes.
He can rebound.
Yes, he can.
He can finish a variety of lobs. He can shoot on occasion. Patrick, you know what player is basically a significantly better version of Aaron Gordon?
Who?
The leading rebounder, Anthony Davis.
Wow.
I mean,
I love the fit. I love the fit.
Fit isn't. I didn't realize how good of a fit they were. I mean, I don't think Anthony Davis is the third best player on the board. This is probably going to come back to bite me, but I thought you might take him instead of Embiid as your big, so I felt like I had to snag him early here. Yeah, I feel like as a fit, this is kind of insane because I can play huge. Because Anthony Davis, I already know that Jokic and Davis fit because I've seen it with Aaron Gordon, and Anthony Davis is a better lob finisher than AG. He's a better defender. He's a better rebounder. I like him as much of a shooter. And, I mean, so Anthony Davis shot 67% in the playoffs. this year.
Jesus Christ.
Anthony Davis averaged 15, and I think because the Lakers lost so quickly, people maybe don't realize Anthony Davis averaged 28 points a game in these playoffs. He was also like probably the best 1v1 Jokic defender we've seen in the playoffs.
Yeah, man.
Not that he's going to have to do that on this team, but like
you have just guaranteed yourself a super elite offense and a super elite defense just with those two players.
Yeah, so that's why I went AD. I don't know if I have AD. Like AD's pretty good, man. All right.
He is. Okay, with my second pick, there's a lot of different ways I can go.
You could go
right
in
here.
so many different ways
There's a lot of different
here.
ways I can go right here. But, you know, I'm leaning. I've been watching this Mavs roster construction throughout the playoffs. And what has like really benefited Luka is being able to have this amazing release valve in Kyrie Irving. It's a guy that really, even if Luka is going through one of the like kind of high points of his pain, he's been playing through injury this entire playoffs, and I'm not discounting that. So I want a guy who can really take the weight off of his shoulders from a ball handling perspective and from a scoring perspective. So I am going to go with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
See, that was the thing about taking AD was I kind of knew I was leaving Shai out there, and I was a little worried about that.
Yeah, I feel like it's just kind of like a supercharged version of what we see with Kyrie Irving, but much better on the defensive side. We are going to be a huge team in the backcourt. And Shai was absolutely incredible in these playoffs. He averaged 30 points a game. He had some of the just like best standout games of this entire postseason. And yeah, another thing that I was surprised by, of guys that have played at least 190 minutes in this postseason, Shai is number one in terms of percentile of turnover percentage. Like, he just was not turning the ball over. For a super high usage guy like that, that's exactly what I want.
You know, I put so much thought into Shai as my second pick because I was trying to figure out, would Shai, obviously he would be the best guard. I knew Luka was going to be gone if I took Jokic. But I spent so much time thinking about what does Shai look like in an offense where instead of a lot of ISO, it's a lot of handoff game.
Yeah.
He probably would be pretty good.
He would be pretty good. I think.
Yeah, I'm a little.
That's a good thing about Shai.
I wanted to also pick Shai because I was like, he can play at the 1 or the 2. Okay, so this is where it gets really tricky for me because there's two guys I kind of both want. I mean, there's honestly 4 guys that I'm thinking of here, and I'm having a really hard time ranking the 4 of them. Actually, I know who I have 4th, but the guy who I have 4th, I think, is low-key the best fit.
Just who are the guys?
I don't want to give you names. Maybe you forgot these guys.
Yeah, maybe I forgot these guys.
One of them lost in the first round, in relatively ugly fashion.
Ooh, sounds like a guy I enjoy.
Yeah, you are an enjoyer of this player. Okay, so this is where it gets really tough for me because. Okay, how do I parse between these two?
So, what archetypes do you need right now? Think about the archetypes.
I think I'm building the supercharged Nuggets.
Yeah. So right now you have AD,
and I've got Jokic,
and you've got Jokic. So you need guys that can. I'm thinking shooting.
I need shooting. My dream is to get a guard that I think plays really well in a handoff heavy style. So part of me was thinking, I feel like Brunson, they don't play like that in New York. But if there was a guard that I'm like, I can envision what he looks like in a handoff heavy offense with Jokic, I feel like Brunson is that guy. The problem is Brunson was horrible shooting from 3 in the Indy series, and he made playoff Brunson become a not so great 3-point shooter. So all of a sudden Brunson is not as attractive a pick.
Weighed him down to 31%.
Yeah, it did weigh him down quite a bit. So who do I want to fill that Michael Porter Jr. role? So there's obviously the three names I was thinking of were the great 3 forwards, Tatum, LeBron, and Durant. I think all of them, I like Durant as the clean fit. the best.
Yeah, keeps you gigantic.
And Durant actually shot pretty good in these playoffs. Hold on now, y'all. Durant was 42% from three, 50% from the corner, 55% from all mid-range. Not great at the rim, but on this team, I don't really want him going to the rim. I want KD staying healthy on the perimeter.
Let me tell you, he does not want to go to the rim. He will stretch the floor for you.
Okay, so then I'm looking at Tatum, right? So Tatum, according to Cleaning the Glass, Tatum shooting 29% from three.
That feels right.
So I did some digging because I was like, can I just write Jayson Tatum off because of three-point shooting? So I did some digging, and Tatum is actually shooting about 37% and 40% on his open and wide open threes. And basically, Tatum just forgot how to shoot with a hand in his face. But on my team, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of hands in his face.
There might not be.
There might not be a lot of hands in his face. So the problem now, so I'm parsing between Tatum and LeBron because LeBron also has this kind of rough three-point shooting. But I know with LeBron, I can run handoff with Jokic. I can run pick and roll with Davis. I can run cutting. I mean, Jokic passing to LeBron on the move is just...
Yeah, it's filthy.
It doesn't feel right to take LeBron or Durant when Tatum is still playing. But, I mean, the stats are the stats. I'm gonna take Jayson Tatum.
There you go. Wow. That is a man who values winning over everything else.
I think I'm a little concerned, but Tatum is like, he's listed at 6'8" on Cleaning the Glass. I'm pretty sure he's 6'10".
Tatum has been an unbelievable rebounder this postseason specifically. I think Tatum has really toggled between the number one option with Jaylen Brown super well. I love the pick, man.
Yeah, I feel like with Tatum too, I feel like a lot of the gripes I think all of us have with the Celtics offense comes down to, Tatum when he's in that number one role, putting up these contested shots. When now I'm like, hey, bro, you're the third option on this team. I guess on a normal possession, he's probably ahead of AD in the pecking order, but our ideal possession ends with AD catching it near the basket.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. Wow. I love the options on the board.
You have too many. It kind of is killing me how many you have.
Okay. Shea and Luka. What do I need? I definitely need a wing stopper. I definitely need bigs. I need size, especially if we face off against your team in the finals.
You'll see us.
That size is going to get to me eventually. But I'm not hating where I am at right now. But when I'm thinking about these playoffs, there's really one guy, and because of Luka's size, it allows me to get a little creative with the positions here. And I just feel like I can't believe this guy's on the board right now. There's no one that I am going to think of more in the 2024 playoffs retrospective.
Don't take him.
I got to go with Anthony Edwards.
Yes! Damn it.
I got to go with Anthony Edwards.
Oh, I wanted him.
I think Anthony Edwards is obviously playing a super high usage role right now, but I think he could lower it, really just dig his teeth in on defense, focus on being my stopper on whoever I need him to guard. He's guarding Luka in this series. And Anthony Edwards has been freaking unbelievable. He's still shooting 38% from three. And he's really been rough from that end in the Western Conference Finals. So he'll, from a culture standpoint, I think he's really going to love playing with Luka, two super, super competitive guys. So it's a bit of a three-guard lineup, but they're all big, and I think they can all coexist together.
That really hurts. Ant was the guy I really wanted. Wow. Okay. Great pick.
Hey,
Great pick.
Hey,
great pick.
I'm just identifying talent on the board.
Thank you.
I'm scrambling a little bit here.
Naz Reid is still on the board, by the way.
I know. I'm monitoring him. We're hoping we can get him as an undrafted free agent. Josh Hart, I see you as well. Yeah, do you want to draft a sixth man after we draft our starting fives?
Yeah, we could draft six, man.
Only rule is they can't be a star. They got to be a role player. Even they can start, but they got to be a role player.
Okay. Okay, so I've got two guards. See, what's unfair about this exercise is the more guys play, the more they open themselves up to criticism, which is where I'm at with Brunson, because he's playing kind of hurt. Brunson got some sort of weird injury during the course of that second series.
Foot injury, I think. Yeah,
But I saw what he looked like when he was healthy.
He was incredible.
Okay, but on this team, would I rather have him or this other guard?
So recap who you got.
I've got Tatum, I've got Davis, and I've got Jokic. I have a lot of size.
A lot of size, but we need guards.
Do we?
I mean, I guess you don't.
No, I think I learned from the Suns. I think I do need some guards. Okay, so for me, like on this team, I really want a guard I can run handoff action with. I really want a guard I can run Davis pick and rolls with. And I really want a guard who's going to spray the ball out to Tatum. And you know who I've seen a lot of growth from as a passer is Kyrie Irving. I'm going to take Irving. It's going to give me a nice ISO game too. I like Irving in this position. I'm going to take Kyrie.
I'm surprised he survived this long. He's been so good in these playoffs.
See, the problem was, though, I mean, I don't think you're going to draft him, especially because you've already drafted guards. But, man, on this team, Tyrese Maxey would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He would be a lot of fun on my team.
He was so good in the playoffs, too.
He was so... I mean, I'm looking back at his stats. Like, so Maxey's at 40% from three, and he's taking 9 a game. He's shooting like 90% at the free throw line. He's averaging 30 points.
And he did all of that against the Knicks.
The Knicks.
Who have like 4 guys who were built in a lab to guard him.
He's averaging 7 assists. I mean, Maxey was just so awesome. The only reason, I don't know, maybe...
I will let you amend your pick if you want to. I will.
I want to let wins and losses cloud how I feel about the
player.
The player. Because Maxey was so fucking good. I mean, that's the thing. I'll stick with Kyrie.
Yeah, I will
stick with Kyrie, but it was close there.
Okay.
And Brunson too, man. I don't know.
Another guy who I'm surprised you're not putting in this category is Donovan Mitchell.
He's the one I'm having a hard time grappling with because I want a little bit more height out of my 2 guy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens when we get there.
Yeah, he wasn't entirely healthy throughout this playoffs either. Okay, so I've got Luka Doncic, I've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and I've got Anthony Edwards. I need some real size here. But, I don't... My forward options, I wish I could have like a super Aaron Gordon. Like, this is a place where I feel like a guy like Giannis would fit really well. But you know what? Giannis didn't play in the playoffs. So I can only draft the guys that are on the board. Paolo Banchero was really, really good in these playoffs, but it seems like a reach to grab him here, although I did enjoy him. I think, I'm a child of the small ball era, and I think I might have to lean, even though my team is gigantic as it's constructed. I think I'm going to have to continue to lean in more of the small ball mold. Give me LeBron James.
I love it.
Give me LeBron James.
I love it. Great pick.
I want more connective passing. LeBron shot the ball, just shot the cover off the ball in that series, and was super high usage player he was in the 100th percentile of assist percentage. He was near the top of the league in turnover, assist to usage, turnover percentage.
Did I fuck up taking Tatum over him? I might have.
I'm a little worried about my perimeter defense when I'm really going to be trusting a lot in LeBron kind of turning the clock.
You got him guarding 4s though.
But yeah, he's guarding his probably correct size. But yeah, I love the passing. Now it's still weird for me to think of LeBron as this amazing shooter, but that's
he is now
what he has reconstructed himself into being.
Although he didn't shoot the 3 quite well in that 5-game series. I didn't see the thing though is I didn't parse the numbers like I did because with Tatum I was like Well, I feel like I'm really overthinking it, even considering Durant over Tatum. That's why I did the whole numbers parsing where I was like, what's Tatum shooting on open threes versus not open threes?
LeBron shot 38% from three.
Wait, what? Is cleaning the maybe the garbage time filter just destroyed his stats on cleaning the glass?
Oh,
then.
maybe. Yeah,
They might
I'm
have
just
been
looking
that.
at the raw
Okay, no, then you're good.
playoffs.
You're good. You've got a great shooter there. Okay, so LeBron, I really like that pick for your team. I mean, your team has a lot. Luka,
Aunt Shay, and LeBron.
You know what I like about your team too is I feel like with Luka and Alexander, you're getting two guys who are a little like Luka's such an amazing passer, but he is a little bit more of that hardened, like pound the air out of it before making the pass. But you add LeBron, and then all of a sudden the connected passing is way better. Like the Luka LeBron short roll game.
I think it could work.
I think it would
in a
definitely
playoff
work.
setting.
Yeah, I think it would work very well. Okay, so I need a two guard. So my team is massive. I got Tatum, I've got Davis, I've got Jokic. Irving's my only short player. Now, I want to pick this guy, but I feel like there's a lot of bad juju if I team this guy up with Irving and Tatum.
Who is it?
It is the Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Ooh.
I'm going to take Jaylen Brown.
Dude, I love this pick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting defense. He's shooting okay-ish from three, shooting about like 36, 37%, but that's okay. That's Caldwell Pope numbers.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a way better drive to the basket game. I'm getting a guy that when Anthony Edwards is, giving him the glare, I feel a little bit better about, or a lot better about him guarding him. A lot stronger. I like when Tatum's like kind of dazing off, he's going to be like, hey, dude, wake the fuck up. Let's go.
Yeah,
I like that.
And he's not a super high usage guy, which I think makes him work better in your team construct.
And I like, too, that on this team, he doesn't have to handle the ball a lot because I'm going to play Nuggets basketball. Everything's going to run through Irving and Jokic. And
can you imagine Jaylen Brown cutting off of
Jokic
in the post?
I love this team as the Jokic hub team is just, I don't know, man. I don't know how anyone would guard my team.
No, I don't know. I don't know how anyone would guard your team either. But after your first pick, I knew this guy was going to be on the board for me here. And really, my whole draft room is doing cartwheels because we just can't believe this guy is still available. Joel Embiid, we need you as our center. Come on in. He's going to be just like the perfect form of a play finisher.
You've built the front court that is like a nice counter to mine because you've got Embiid, even injured, was still such an incredibly impactful defender. But also, you've got LeBron James snuffing out my Anthony Davis lob game. If there was anyone who's just going to be like intelligent enough to like figure out how to snuff that out, it would be him. So touche. That's a great like counter to the whole original genesis of my team was AD Jokic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain point where it's like, we are probably going to struggle on the glass against you guys. And that's okay because we're a transition team. We're going to try to get into as much transition as possible. And we're going to be hyper aggressive with our perimeter defense, gambling for steals as much as we possibly can. Because once we get the ball in Luka, in LeBron's hands, and they're outlet passing, it's over. It's over. And we're funneling everything to Joel Embiid because he doesn't have to carry the load like he did. I'm not worried about him running out of gas in the fourth quarter like he did for most of these playoffs because I've got our closer in Luka Doncic.
And Shea. And LeBron James?
Yeah, and Shea and LeBron.
Wow, these are two fun. I guess we're going for 6-man now.
Yeah, 6-man. It can be a role player. It can be a starting role player. It just can't be a star. And it
can't be a star player.
Can't be a star player. It's got to be a role player. Max will make the call on whether
they are a star.
A star or not.
So if they didn't make an all-star team,
yeah, I think that's fair. If they've never
know.
made an all-star team.
Okay, I might have to do some digging here. So my team has a really obvious archetype need for the 6-man. Like, I need another ball handler for when Irving's off the court. Mm-hmm. What did this guy shoot in the playoffs? Oh, man, he shot 27%. Okay. Austin Reeves shot 27% from three in the playoffs.
And that's why the Lakers lost in 5.
Yeah, that and D'Lo not being able to shoot the first, I think, was it 2 games?
Yes.
That
yes.
hurt. That hurt. Okay, well, obviously, I can't take a book. Is Bradley Beal a star?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, on the numerically speaking, yes.
Okay, yeah, he's paid like one.
He's paid like a star.
He can't fit in your cap space.
No, he cannot. Wow, okay, so I need a ball handler really bad.
Yeah,
That's
Boston guys are available.
I could take a Whiter or Drew. I want a little more offensive potency.
Dante DiVincenzo is on the board.
Yeah, wow, the Knicks are... Oh, man, this is tough because I can't take Halliburton.
No. Nembhard is on the board.
Yeah.
Malik Monk is better than Donovan Mitchell, by the way, so you could pick him.
He didn't make the playoffs. He didn't make the playoffs.
Nice callback. I caught that, Max.
Dude, I don't know. See, the thing with the Celtics guards with Derek White and Drew is in the role on my team, they're being asked to do a lot. Mm-hmm. They're being asked to actually run as a hub offensive player, like around this handoff game and AD pick and roll. So I need someone who's like a lot more offensively slanted than defensively slanted.
I think that you guys should have to pick somebody who is a legit sixth man, but that's just me. If you don't want to play by those rules, that's fine.
I just feel like we didn't do enough research before we started.
No. I mean, it's just there's a gap between Naz Reid and who's ever number 2, and unfortunately for me, Naz Reid is like not a fit on my team. Mm-hmm. So I'll cede Naz Reid to you. Is that who you're gonna pick?
Yeah, that's
you want him? All right, you can have him. You can have him.
Picking.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time here because a lot of the guys I'm thinking of are on that. I would consider them stars, so I feel like I can't pick them. Okay, no, I've got my. Well, let's see how bad he shot in the playoffs. I might pick him anyway, no matter how bad the numbers are. Don't let me vomit here, Bill. Okay. Who do you think I'm looking at?
Suggs? You looking at Suggs?
Okay.
Garland? I don't know.
I'm going to be taking Darius Garland.
Wow. Hey, I called it. Okay. Wow. He
shot better than I remember.
He was a little rough, but he did have those redeeming last
35% from 3, not great. 48% from 2, not great. Still like him as a passer. I still like him as a guy that even though the numbers aren't there, the other team's guards are not going to let him be open. I like that his range extends pretty far out, which means I can run my Davis pick and rolls from a little further out.
And I don't think he's going to demand a trade from your team because you don't have Donovan Mitchell on your team.
You know what I think too? I think too, playing on this team, he'll be able to get in rhythm a little bit more, be able to handle the ball a little bit more. His role's a lot more clear on this role. Mm-hmm. So I've always liked Darius Garland,
Okay, you know what? I appreciate that you gave me the opportunity to take Naz Reid. But I think I am going to pivot here. I know. I love Naz Reid.
Don't take Gobert.
Breaking my heart.
I love him. But there is another player who I think
you need a big.
Is a change of pace big for me and is more comfortable taking on a bigger role. That is why I am going to go with Eastern Conference finalist Myles Turner for this last spot. Do you know what he shot from 3 in the postseason? 45% on 5 attempts a game.
Yeah, it felt like game 1 of that series, the Eastern Conference Finals, was only close because the pick and fade with him was just money every time.
Yeah, no, that's literally the truth of the matter. So I just think like he'll be able to spell Joel Embiid offensively, but also defensively in a way that I think Naz Reid just can't really give to me, which I love Naz Reid, but he's just more instant offense, which I don't really know that I need. I need a guy that can bomb 3-pointers. I don't even need the movement threes, Naz, which I love. The movement threes are incredible, but I'm going with Myles Turner.
Well,
I like the pick.
UT Austin alum, hook 'em horns.
Yes, UT Austin alum.
Are you a UT guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were actually at UT at the same time. So,
Ooh.
Close
we're
personal
basically best
friend.
friends.
Yeah. Can you get him on the podcast?
So are you a KD guy?
Oh yeah, I mean, kind of.
I would have never get. Yeah, see, I don't get KD guy vibes.
I mean, I'm not like a diehard KD guy, but I do have some love for him for that
There's
reason.
a soft spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so my team, I've got Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, and I've got Darius Garland coming off the bench.
And my team, I have Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid with Myles Turner coming off the bench.
My team is cursed. It's the 2019 Celtics.
It is.
But they're all grown up.
Yeah, they're ready. You have adjusted Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. I think they'd be a
Imagine
lot better.
if that Celtics
I think
team-
if that Celtics team played today, they would be a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to like place ourselves back in that point of time too, because Jayson Tatum was like, what, 22 years old, 21 years old?
No, I saw pictures of them from that year, and like him and Brown both have like really short hair, and they look like they're just so young at the time.
Yeah. Deuce was like
Not even bored
6
yet.
months 6 months old.
Yeah,
Okay, well, this was fun.
this was fun.
I
I
enjoyed
love doing
this.
a good draft. All right,
Please comment in the comments. of
Whose team is better?
Whose team was better? Who did we forget? Yell at us if we didn't draft your favorite player. I know I will be in the comments very angrily expressing how we didn't pick any Suns.
we didn't pick any Knicks either.
Wow.
But I mean, the Knicks kind of fell because we're getting the injured version of these players. That's the thing.
I in prep for this, I pulled Basketball Reference has a game score stat.
Yeah.
Can you guess what 3 players have the top 3 game scores
Like
of
in a
the
single
playoffs? Yeah, in a single game.
Jokic in the
Jokic
crazy
is
game.
not one of those
No,
3 players.
not in one of that crazy game.
No. All 3 of these players are eliminated.
I'm gonna go Joel Embiid in his 50 game.
Joel Embiid is number 1 in his
the
50
50-point
game.
Okay. Damian Lillard in his 50 game.
Damian Lillard is
No.
not on the list.
Okay.
We got 2 backcourt guys rounding out the top 3 of this.
It's got to be Shai in one of his Pelicans games. No.
No, Shai is not in the top 3.
Is it Harden or George in that one crazy game?
No,
Who is it?
it is number 2 is Donovan Mitchell in his insane game, I think 5 loss to Orlando where he scored 50. And then Devin Booker in his
Game
50 point game 4 loss to the Timberwolves, which I was just very surprised that.
How is Jokic's game 5 not?
Yeah, Jokic's game 5 is 16th from this playoff.
Wow. Okay, that's wild.
Yeah, we've got Embiid, Mitchell, Booker, Brunson, Maxey, Brunson, Edwards, Middleton, Brunson, Brown, Brunson.
Where's Dame had like just an insane game 1.
Dame's best game.
Man scored like 40 points in the first half.
Yeah, but he didn't score in the second half, and that's why his best game is ranked 34th.
That is crazy.
Dante
How is
DiVincenzo's
the
ahead
game
of him.
score calculated?
I cannot answer that question. I am not sure. It's some kind of weird catch-all.
That stat does
statistic.
expose like the fact that you guys did not pick Brunson though in this draft. Like nobody picked Brunson.
But were those all from the Sixers series?
Yeah, there's an Indiana in there. But yeah, every single game from the Sixers.
I'm just saying
series is on
the
there.
Brunson hive is gonna come for you guys.
Hey.
be ready.
That's okay. I'm sorry. I picked Luka and Shai. I had no space for you, man.
Yeah, I picked Irving and Brown. I think the Brunson Hive can have a little bit more of a gripe with me, but I just feel like on the team construction I have, I feel like Irving and Brown make a bit more sense.
But literally by the end of the day, both of those guys could be the conference finals MVPs.
MVP. Yeah, I'm going to have the 2 conference finals MVPs. And yeah, I feel good about that. I've got the Larry Bird and the Magic Johnson.
Yeah, right there. You've got the winning time official players of the year. Okay, well, I mean, that's pretty much all we have for this
Draft.
weird, place we are in the NBA calendar of just like waiting.
Yeah. All right, shall we get to Hot Streak Shooting Slump?
Hot Streak Shooting Slump time sounds good to me. Max, you want to start us off? Our resident Timberwolves fan. How has this week of games affected your shooting variability?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was looking like a slump. It was looking like a really, really deep slump for me. But then we got a comeback game that really put some wind in my sails.
No sweep.
No sweep. So I think we've warded off some of the haters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody wanted that to be a sweep. Nobody wanted that.
I mean,
Am I wrong?
to have 2 sweeps in the conference finals, in
Yeah.
my opinion, would
Boring.
suck so bad.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be the highest level of basketball we have.
Yeah, nobody wanted that. Regardless of what happens tonight, we're going to win, by the way. Regardless of what happens,
course.
insane season. Swept the Suns. Sorry, Patrick.
Hey, that's okay. It's true. It's a fact.
Beat the defending champs in 7 games. Probably the best series of this, playoffs, in my opinion. We're like 3 games away from being in the NBA Finals. Like, that's insane. Mm-hmm. That is insane. I can't believe that.
Yeah,
Like-
I think if you guys win tonight, it will be the closest you have ever been
Yeah.
to the NBA Finals,
Crazy.
which is saying something.
I love this team. I love Mike Conley. I love, obviously, Ant. Cat is a bit of a
Is
abusive
today
relationship.
Cat's last game
Yeah.
in Timberwolves uniform?
It could be, honestly. I mean, legitimately.
I think it is.
Yeah. What team is he going to be on next season? That's what I want to know.
Phoenix Suns.
Orlando Magic.
Orlando Magic. That would be interesting. They could use that space.
They could use some spacing, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a good run, Cat. Sort of. I mean, it hasn't been a great run. It's been, I don't know. I got
what
some
it
love
is.
for Cat. But I'm on a hot streak. I'm calling it a streak. I'm going into the weekend hot. I'm feeling good. In general, been doing pretty good this week. Been finding other jobs. Been sleeping pretty decently these past couple nights. Working out. All around, it's a streak. Me and my Wolves, we're gonna pull off the reverse sweep. It's never been done in history before, but to go down 3-0 and then come out at the end of 7 games victorious.
I mean, I can't tell you how much I'd love to see. James,
It's showtime, baby.
I am. What am I on? I guess I'm on a streak. I've been sleeping terribly.
okay, good.
Like, I've been waking up every day exhausted. I've been drinking just copious amounts of coffee. It doesn't seem to help. I don't know. I sleep a good amount of time. I wake up exhausted every day. But yesterday, I finally got to play pickup hoops for the first time in a while with the guys. It was a lot of fun. I love playing basketball. I miss playing basketball. Sometime like a year and a half ago, I'm just going to say it, some douchebag invented this sport called pickleball. And it infiltrated the friend group like some horrible disease. And it caused everyone to stop playing basketball for like 2 years. And the entire time I was seething on the sideline because basketball is way better than pickleball. What the fuck are we doing?
It's
What
more
are we
inclusive.
fucking doing? What are we doing? Why are we playing pickleball? We have a fucking basketball court and a whole rack of basketballs. Sorry. Yeah, pickleball's fun, but like basketball's way more fun.
It's true. The entire time I've been around this group, I have really never seen, once or twice I've seen pickup basketball being played. It's always, and over the past 1.5 years, it's pretty much been pickleball.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think it's too. It's everyone's like, we finished playing basketball. And everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna feel that tomorrow morning. Like, guys,
Yeah, it's the age.
I mean, it's the age, but you know what? I feel fine. I mean, granted, I work out regularly and do a lot of recovery exercises and try to keep my body in top shape. But
You actually stretch before
I stretch
playing.
every time. I stretch every day. I feel great.
Adam Sandler is out there hooping. He's not stretching, so you guys have no excuse.
Yeah, no, I don't know. So, playing basketball is an instant hot streak. Feel
Any
good.
highlights for you yesterday?
I had this really nice pass.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
I mean, all my points came up like lays, pretty much. Some middies, a nice fadeaway. But no, I had one of those like Luka passes where it was like a bounce pass from kind of far, like feathered between two people. And Jeff, boy
Jason Kidd.
great catch, great finish. I've scored, but I don't know. I like kicking it out, like playing, team ball. I had some nice off-ball screens that led to some buckets. I'm like the unsung hero of pickup hoops.
You're kind of what your fantasy team needed.
Actually, you know what my highlight was? I was checking the ball up, and Chris was in the corner. If you know Chris 6'10", he can shoot. And Jeff was in the paint, and I kept pointing Jeff to go set a screen for Chris, and Jeff looked at me like Chris doesn't know this is happening, and I was like, do it anyway. Chris curled up. We got a nice little 5-foot jumper. Money. I was like, I'm a field general.
Some would say the Kyle Anderson.
I am the Chris Paul of backyard hoops. I'll have you know. No, I love playing basketball. What else happened? I hit max level on hardcore World of Warcraft. So not only am I the greatest backyard basketball player ever, I'm the greatest video game player of all time.
Wow.
Basically Luka Doncic.
I'm Luka Doncic.
Okay. That checks out.
That is a reference to Luka's insane Overwatch.
His top 500
rep.
in the world Overwatch player. What else happened to me this week? I don't know. I made videos. I ate food.
Sick.
Just living the dream.
I lived the dream. Yeah. What about you?
I'll say Hot Streak because I can't really
streak.
Yeah, triple streak. There we go. I can't really think of any reason not to. Have you ever been to the Huntington Gardens in Pasadena?
I have not.
It's like
Gorgeous.
it's so gorgeous. It's like this gigantic, I don't know, estate. It used to be like some super uber rich guy's like estate, but it's basically just like filled with like beautiful like Japanese gardens and like Chinese inspired gardens, as well as like there's like a desert, like a botanical area. But also there's like the main house that is like super uber old is a museum. And like, I didn't even really get to explore all of it, but I spent like 2 or 3 hours there this weekend and could not recommend more. Really like just so awesome. Great date spot. Great like, oh, my parents are in town. Like, let's go do this. I thought it was kind of like the zoo, but with no animals
But with
and
plants.
way less kids. I loved it. It was great.
Is this where you made your fine art hoops TikTok?
Yes, it is.
If you guys haven't seen that yet, check it out. It made me laugh a lot. It was really
Yeah,
good.
I was walking around and I was very inspired by the art and what I thought the art looked like in terms of NBA stan culture. But yeah, you can check that out. Patrick Sunsword on TikTok. Go check it out. But yeah, had some family time, 3-day weekend. That was really nice. Yeah, I felt like cooking. I was cooking.
Nice. All right. Well, that is Hot Streak Shooting Slump. That is our episode. Maybe on Monday we will be talking about the NBA Finals preview. Maybe we won't be.
Maybe we won't be. Maybe we will.
Yeah, I don't know. Monday, because the final starts on Thursday night. So what do we if we talk about Finals preview on Monday, what do we even talk about Thursday?
I don't know. We might have to do something special. Either way, we might have to do something special.
Yeah,
for
Monday
Thursday.
episode. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about life and hoops.
But I can guarantee you one thing. You're not going to want to miss it.
All right, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.